Good day, everyone, and welcome to Obidient Family TV. The program is Hope Alive. Yes, there is hope, and a new Nigeria is certainly possible. Now, good morning, afternoon, and evening, depending your time zone. Today, again, we'll come to have discussions on what is happening in Nigeria. As you know, Tinubu has called for a meeting. Both the SGF, the National Security Advisor, the SGF, which is also the secretary to the government of the Federation, they are having meetings over the planned nationwide protest happening that must happen in Nigeria. Of course, everybody knows that it's imminent, and they are having. So the details of this that has happened today on that very meeting, we are bringing that up on what they said. And also want to bring to you the issue of Tinubu ordering the approval of 150,000 grants for each gigawatt business owners without specifying how many people and whether this is another way of trying to tell gigawatt indigenes not to participate in this very protest. And of course, we will also tell you that the Lagos state government says that they don't have issues with protesters come 1st of August, as they said that protest is the constitutional right and nothing is wrong for citizens to do that. We also have coming from the IG, who also said that protesting peacefully is a right of citizens, that police is also behind protest to protect them. So we are getting all of this, and we are going to have discussions and videos of people who have said that the protest is imminent, especially coming from the labor union, who have distanced themselves from the circulating rumor that they are not going to be part of that protest, but they have come out to clarify they did not start it, but that does not mean that they are not going to join the protest. So the protest is gaining momentum, and yet, after their meeting of today, anyway, we'll come back and we'll have a discussion on what they discussed after their meeting. They called it family matters, but we'll get to that. With me to have these discussions in the studio, I have Mercy and, of course, the lady Okike, plus our well-meaning Nigerians on Zoom who are going to join us visually to have these discussions.
Good evening, Obidient Worldwide. Thank you for joining us.
Welcome, and thank you for joining us.
Wherever you are listening to us right now, do us a favor of liking and sharing Obidient Family TV so that other well-meaning Nigerians will know that we are live, especially as the discussion of the issue of the nationwide protest is gaining momentum. So let me start with the issue at hand, which is in the response to the increasing economic hardship of course, we know mounting calls for a nationwide protest against Chief Bola Tinubu's administration. They have called for a meeting and asking Nigerians for more time, promising that the situation is being addressed with urgency. What is the urgency? The urgency they are taking, they have not specified. This is coming from the Minister of Information and National Orientation, who addressed the issue today, being Wednesday, in Abuja, after they have some sort of ESCO meeting, which involves SGF and several ministers at the office of the Senator George Akume, who is the SGF. Idris described the planned protest as a family matter and reassured that the government is committed to resolving all issues in a manner that ensures peace and stability across the country. But nevertheless, they never bring about what the protest issues to be discussed was not on the table. But Idris stress that they acknowledge, first of all, that the legitimate concerns of citizens, and stress that the administration is focused on implementing solutions to mitigate hardship. They did not articulate all the demands of the citizens, which says that fuel price, the PMS pump price should go down. We're talking about the hardship, the hunger. They did not address this very issue after their closed door meeting. Let me quote what he said. He said, "We came together to discuss. We can see that this is not happening at the you can see that this is not happening at the council chambers. It is happening at the office of the SGF, and many of the ministers are here. We have discussed issues of national interest, and all of us are working for Nigeria, and we hope and believe that Nigerians is going to be great again. It is a family affair. No one is going to sleep, and we don't want protests to hold. Those who are agitating and asking for protests are Nigerians, and they are our brothers, they are our sisters, they are all Nigerians, and those in position of authority, the ministers, the president, everybody, we are all Nigerians too. So this is a family matter. This is a Nigerian family issue, and all of us are looking at the issue very well, and we hope that the peace will prevail at the end of the day. This is coming from the talk person whom always lies to Nigerians. So let me start with you today, Led Mercy. You have heard them. This is a family matter. We are the same, and all of that, without attending to the issues on the table. Addressing Nigerians is the thing I'm expecting by now, that Tinubu would have brought out his time to address Nigerians and tell them his plans for that very protest not to hold. But of course we know he's not going to do that, and that's why this protest is imminent. If
it's a family issue, then we should be treated like families. You know, if Bola Tinubu is actually our father, then he should treat Nigerians like his children by providing our needs and listening to our demands and bringing solutions to it. You cannot cancel the protest and yet not attend to the demands of the people. It doesn't work that way. It's either the protest hold, and probably through the protest you hear our demands and know what you should do, or you get straight and attend to our demands.
Yeah,
you can't just be cold and be hot at the same time.
Exactly. Or maybe, you know, beat a child and ask the child not to cry.
It's not possible.
Yeah, okay. Coming to you, Okike, you know, this their issue of family matter. I don't know, just like Messi said, being family. I don't know if he's talking about his, that is his son or his daughters calling families and all of that, because if they know that Nigerians are all one and the same and one family, then by now the person who happens to be the father should be talking to his children about to commence on a protest. Is that not correct?
Very correct. What type of father treats his children the way Bola Tinubu have treated Nigerians for this long period of time? Just 1 year in office, and everybody can
short period of time
can tell the difference. Do you understand? It's very sad. It's a saddening thing. So I do not buy this idea of family. It's never family when they are embezzling funds and going as far as corruption and even killing people during elections and protests. It's never about family. And all of a sudden, when people want to protest for their rights,
that's when they know that there is
family affair. I do not believe that this is not a family affair at all.
Okay, we'll come back to discuss this in the studio again. Let me quickly go to our own, his lordship, Lord K. Lord K, you've heard that Tinubu and his people in the cabinet said that we are now family and it is a family matter, and that we should not engage in the protest, that they are addressing the issues. What are your thoughts on this matter of family matter? Do you think that they regard Nigerians as family or not?
Good evening, fellow Obedients around the world, everyone in the studio, and my fellow Zoom panelists. Well, for a start, God forbid me being his family member. So he can be on his own without me. I'm not part of his family and will never be part of his family, because I have a name to protect. I have good character and integrity to protect. Now there is trouble. That is why you now remember that, oh, Nigeria are his family. I don't see how a man of this age will not know the needs of his children or know the needs of his people. When you were ordering 2 private jets for yourself, when you were going to Mecca, wherever you went to, with 90 billion naira, rebuilding presidential houses with 40 or so billion naira, traveling around the world, traveling with how many billions of dollars in your pockets, you did not know that people were hungry. You did not know that the country is starving. You came in the first day, the first thing that came out of your mouth, subsidy gone. Subsidy gone. Like as if you don't know the meaning of subsidy gone. You thought it was just something that you could just say and get away with it. The subsidy is gone now. Deal with it. Because Nigerians are waiting for you. Nigerians are waiting for you. They are waiting to hear, they are waiting to see, and waiting to understand how you want to rule this government. And they will demand that by this protest. Because they're giving you a whole year where you never did nothing. But instead, their condition worsened. The condition worsened. Now a bag of gari is almost like 80,000. Bag of fries 85 or 90,000. I mean, somebody cannot even cook soup or whatever to feed their family anymore. And then they're asking you for minimum wage. Or you could say, well, you can only offer 70,000. When you are living in luxury, expanding your belts, you're telling them to tighten up their belts. You're telling the nation to tighten up their belts. Do you want their waist to break before you know they don't have anything to tighten anymore? Wait for them. Nobody's your family. Nobody is your family. Get that from me. Nobody's your family.
Okay, before you get water, let me also chip something very on what they are also said in the listing. In quote, they said that they are engaging with stakeholders, and the engagement is going to continue, and is for the interest of Nigeria. They said that they will continue, that this is the only country that we have, and at the end of the day, Nigeria is going to be better for all of us. But there is a question that was asked about the senior advocate of Nigeria, who was earlier on a national TV, that the protest must go on. And the Minister of Information said that the senior advocate of Nigeria, San, is entitled to his opinion, but what they are pleading with Nigeria is that Chief Bola Tinubu is pleading and urging the youth not to go on this very protest. So very quickly, tell me your thoughts. Let's first of all hear what Chief Falana said. He cut across the discussion about the NSAs and about what happened, and the fact that it is the government that actually started the vandalism, because they keep saying it will be hijacked, it will be hijacked. But at the end of the day, on a national TV, Falana San, the senior advocate of Nigeria, was very clear that the people, the hoodlums that hijacked the NSAS was not the peaceful youths of Nigeria, but rather people hired by the same government to actually do that. That very threat of this thing is they are trying to rewrite the NSAS history wouldn't work. Let's take a listen to Femi Falana, then we'll come back and have more discussion on it.
Young people or workers have never gone out determined to engage in violence all the time. It has always, violence had always occurred going back to the 70s when students are shot, unarmed students are shot. The last time, people are now destroying our history, distorting our history by saying, oh, in 2020, young people were violent. No. The young people took part in the protest, in the NSAS protest, gathered in different places. In a place like Lagos, they gathered in Alausa at the Secretariat. They also gathered at Lekki. And they were singing and discussing among themselves. People were giving them food. What happened was that the attack on the youth started in Alausa here when a notorious transporter in Lagos, a notorious union leader, sent his thugs to attack the unarmed youths in Alausa. They overpowered the thugs, but the police did not arrest or charge them. The same thing happened in Abuja, in Benin, in Port Harcourt and other places. And until the government decided to unleash people you call hoodlums and thugs on the young people. When that did not work, the government sent troops, armed soldiers, to engage in killing of young people. In 1 week, about 99 people were killed in Lagos. I don't want to talk about Ogbomoso, Ibadan, Port Harcourt, and Benin, and other places where young people were shot at, where young people were killed. So the violence that characterized the end of the NSAS protest was instigated and fueled and sponsored by the government. This time around, I think the government...
That is Chief Femi Falana son advising the federal government that their threats won't work and that APC is trying to rewrite the NSAS history. That is coming from Chief Femi Falana, senior advocate of Nigeria. Now, let's quickly come back here before we get to Zoom. Mercy, you've heard what he said. The talks were sent in by the government. So all these, their threats about it being hijacked, Nigerians going to have, some sort of in disarray and all of that. Is trying, what this man is trying to explain for viewers to understand is it is the government that is actually sending in talks to escalate and destroy things, and not really the Nigerian, peaceful Nigerians who actually want to go into protest. So that their threats of saying that things is more like a warning, I suppose, that they should stay clear from all of this, because that's what they normally do. They will employ talks and all of that. To
employ talks to
disrupt the protest as a result of that.
It is actually one tactics that the Nigerian government have proved over time to be very good at. Employ people, destroy the protest. It is something we can see repeatedly throughout history, especially during NSAS. It's just a history that's very...
And it's still the same APC antics.
And now they are threatening to use the same tactics again, and then saying maybe Nigerians are going to hijack it. But we all know the people who hijack protests. We all know who pay them, who power them up to hijack protests. I do not think that Nigerians who want enforcement of laws that will protect them will go out on the street and hijack it and become causing chaos. I do not think.
Yeah, of course. Of course, we know that Nigerians are law-abiding citizens, especially now that they are very hungry. We wouldn't be expecting that. Mercy, what are your thoughts on what Chief Femi Falana said?
Of course, he's right. Because Nigerians, especially now that things are actually very bad and we are planning on how to get our rights back, we won't be planning on how to disrupt or scatter any protests that we are planning by ourselves.
Exactly.
It's something that they are very good at. Even during election, is a normal process for them to hijack things and spoil it and still blame it on the poor masses. Yeah. So it's something that they are very good at.
Okay, let's quickly get the opinion of our person who has just joined us on Zoom, Mr. Basi from Cross River State, Calabar Municipal. Let me quickly ask you, Mr. Basi, what are your thoughts on what Chief Femi Falana said concerning what happened during the NSAS, how it is the same APC that is employing all those tactics based on their threats right now? Of course, you were, I believe you know how the NSAS went, because it's focusing that on that NSAS that it is being hijacked by the government and not really by the citizens. Mr. Basi, what are your thoughts?
Thank you so much, Mr. Kanu. Good evening, the studio panelists and the Zoom panelists. Good day, Obidient, and listeners across the world. Let me just begin by responding to the issue of family. This government will never cease to amuse Nigerians. At what point did we become family in this country? Which parent will create such a dichotomy among his children and then still come back to call them family? We have never been family in this country. We have been treated by the people in government as if we are outcasts, we are strangers. Now, because there is an imminent protest, so we suddenly have become families. It's a joke that we are being called families at this point in time. And back to what the senior advocate said, we all know what transpired in 2020 during the NSAS. It was a protest that started peacefully because of the harassment of the police unit called SARS, harassing innocent Nigerians and killing them, maiming them. And it all started peacefully without any trouble until the government of the day, both at the center and in Lagos State, decided to unleash their agents to go in and start creating destruction, start fighting, maiming the protesters. That was when the protests turned violent. They have never been any, it was never a violent protest up until because we know people, even though government tried to paint the picture the other way around, that nobody died. But even at the panel that was set up by the Lagos State government, of course, that panel came up with damning reports. But again, what happened? Which of those reports did the government that set that panel up implemented? None. It was thrown to the dustbin. So today we are here, and the Nigerian people, the protesters, have issued their points that they want government to address. A reasonable government should have stopped this grandstanding and see how best they can address this issue. What a responsible government ought to do, like we all saw what happened in Kenya. Even though there was a protest before the president came out to, reel out the solution, the requirement, meeting those requirements. Spelling out what he needs to do pointedly. Is to increase an allowance by 50% on this thing. This is what we want to do on this agenda. This is what we want to do. But this government is not doing anything. They are just playing around, trying to fool Nigerians. Telling Nigerians, we've heard you, we will do something. What is being done? How many Nigerians are going to die until die before they receive the implementation of what government is doing? Nigerians are going to bed that, and yet you call yourself that you are family. Which family will watch these other children go to bed without food while they are picking and choosing what they are eating? Imagine, they are taking Nigerians for granted. See, as far as I'm concerned, this government is not willing to do anything. They are only using that to buy time so that Nigerians will not come out to protest. I would urge Nigerians, this is the time. Let us seize this moment and move out en masse and let government know. I know they've been infiltrating all the states. They've been using most state governors to... As a matter of fact, I want this thing to even move from the federal and go to the state government, because the state government are also culprit to some of this injustice that are being meted on Nigerians. So Nigerians should come out and protest peacefully, and let us register our grievances. Let government know that Nigerians are dying every day. Thank you.
And you even know what, Mr. Kinney, what's happening right now? What's happening right now? Some members of the government, so members of parliament or whatever they are actually traveling out of the country as we speak. I met up with one in my city here today. I met up with one today when I was giving out the leaflets for Akpata coming to Manchester. I met him and I gave him one. And this man stood and explained to me, it was just that he didn't let me take pictures with him. Because I would have exposed his face here today. I would have
He's going on oversight function.
Yeah, he's coming here. I mean, they are all running out of the country.
They are all going on oversight function outside of the country.
Let me quickly come in here. You know, the Senator House reps, they are taking a vacation to resume September. They are all running away from the National Assembly. They want to seal up the whole places. They call it 7 weeks. They called it a 7 weeks recess to resume September 17th. That is what they said. Now, let me quickly come back to Lord K. Lord K, there's something that former President Olusegun Obasanjo said about, he said all over Africa that we are all sitting on a keg of gunpowder, that the youths are hopeless and angry, that the protest is just the beginning of things to happen. In other words, wherever leaders are, they are encouraging Nigerians to go on this very protest. Let's even take a listen to what he said and other things he said, very briefly.
Warning about this. And all over Africa, we are all sitting on a keg of gunpowder because the youth, and there's virtually no exception in Africa where the youth are not angry. They are unemployed, they are unempowered, and they see nothing other than hopelessness. And in a situation like that, what you have from frustrated youth.
Okay, you have heard from the former president of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo, who is saying we are all sitting on a keg of gunpowder, that the youths are unemployed, they are hopeless, and they are angry. What are your thoughts on this coming out from different leaderships? I mean, leaders, whether in the past or the present, who keeps talking that protest is imminent. They are all in support of it.
Well, I don't disagree with him. I don't disagree with him because a country where the youths, I mean, they say for a start, they say an idle mind is the devil's workshop. So with the way Nigeria is right now, the government doesn't have a plan for them. They don't want to employ or put these youths into work. So what do they want these guys to do? They have to come out one way or the other to express their feelings. Obasanjo himself, he is there saying all this, but on the long run, we know what he did as well. We know what he did. But just to save face, they're all now say, okay, we are sanctioning this protest to go ahead. I even saw a post just now that Atiku himself is backing this protest. Atiku is backing it. But that's Onanuga guy. Will he say anything about all these people backing them now? No. They all want to go and say something that Obi never said. They are all trying to drag Obi into it. Atiku himself has said it now. Obasanjo is saying it. A lot of leaders are saying it. What is he saying about them? What's Onanuga saying about this? So, gentlemen and ladies, let's know what we are doing. Let's stand for our rights. Let's go out there and tell them, teach them, show them what we want to do, how we want to do it, and where we want it done.
Yes, we are aware that His Excellency P2B has formally sued Bayo Onanuga for $5 billion on defamation, spreading information and all of that. But before you talk about that, let's quickly look at another person in Lagos State who is also insisting on joining the protest, a prominent person who said that Tinubu was a product of a protest. So the Nigerian youth must protest. That is coming from George Ashiru, the
the chairman of ABC Lagos. Let's take a listen.
And help to fight for the democracy which we're enjoying today. And so I'm sure he understands the imperative of the freedom of the people to be able to go out there and make protests. But I understand also the other side of the coin, the experience of government when protests can, especially when it's not spearheaded by any known organization, can turn to riots and then cause greater damage to the economy and to the people. So it's a double-edged sword. You have to give people the freedom to be able to say, look, we're not happy. And at the other side of the spectrum, you need to prepare, to make sure you save the people, other people, who have the right to go about living their lives. So personally, I would like to advise the government to engage. Because if you choose not to engage and then you threaten, then, the question people ask is, when you needed the votes, you came to us.
So, okay, everybody is coming out to tell Jibola
to engage the youths. Just seriously, you think it's late, or you think that there is still time to engage, because we have 5 days to go on this protest?
No time for engagement anymore. He has had 1 year to engage. He has had the last 3 months to engage fully. The time he had to engage properly was when they told him about the minimum wage, where he would have come out as a father. He called himself to be, somebody with common sense would have come out on a national broadcast and explain to the nation, we cannot do this. But no, instead, he was calling TUC and NLC to the bedroom and giving them dollars, and those ones coming out to vomit nonsense. Now he's calling himself a father that he wants to come and talk to. What they should do first is make sure they block all the airports. And then nobody is able to fly out. Nobody is able to move. And then let's crush them. A revolution is coming. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Kini, quickly, your last words. There's one of your sisters I saw that was lamenting so much, and declaring that Nigeria belongs to all of us.
And of course, that they are ready to protest. So, Kini, let's listen to this, your sister, first, before you give us your final words on this.
I am by name Rhoda Sander, an indigene of Plateau State, from Bokos local government to be precise. I'm so pained and bittered because the government is trying to stop us from expressing our bitterness, expressing our pains. Nigeria belongs to all of us. Nigeria is equally mine as it is for you. Yes, I mean the government, those of you in high position, those of you in power, you got this power to protect us. You got this power to protect our lives and our properties. But what have we gotten in return? Tons and tons of hardship. We've been displaced from our villages since December 24th. It's been 7 good months. Nobody cared on taking us back to our villages. Our farmlands have been occupied by strangers, by the herders. We don't even know where they are from. And yet the government has done nothing. We're planning to come out in mass to express our bitterness, and threat has been, coming our way. Yes, maybe all you want is to come and arrest all of us. You're free to go about it. You're free to come and arrest us. But one thing you must know is that you have failed. Yes, APC and all your members, you have failed Nigerians. You have failed us. You promised to secure lives and properties. What do we get in return? It's been a lot of hardship, hunger. How much is a mudu of rice? How much is a measure of gari today? How about maize? And nobody's saying anything. All you can think about is how to increase your nonsense, whatever it is, at the expense of who? We're coming out to let the world know that we've had it all enough. We cannot take it anymore. Yes, I mean it. We cannot take it anymore. Our healthcare system is something you cannot even talk about. How about the schools? Have you gone around to see the state of our schools today? Food items you cannot even touch. You cannot feed your children. No wonder there's high rate of crime in the society. And is that what you enjoy? I saw a video of a woman that caused the kidnap of her husband because he's not taking care of her children.
Yeah, the lady that spoke talking about the protests. I just thank God that the protest is gaining momentum in every nook and crannies of Nigeria, and everybody is preparing, raring to go. Whether Chief Bola Tinubu engages with this to them or not, well, the preparation continues for a peaceful protest. So your final words, Mr. Bassi.
That lady is spot on, and she's absolutely very correct in all she has said. And, you know, I did mention that this protest is not just about the government at the center. It's also about the government at the national. Because the bad government is not just from the center alone, it transcends to the grassroots. We are not feeling the effect of governance in this country. And oftentimes the governors are hiding under the federal government to perpetrate their own injustice meted on Nigerians. There is no equality. There is no sense of belonging for Nigerians anymore. We don't know whether we are refugees or whether we are foreigners in our own land. And it used to be a thing of pride that when you travel out of this country, you always want to, maybe you are out for 1-2 weeks, you always long to come back to Nigeria, because we always say there's no place like home. But today is no longer the same. People are now trying to even japa to go out of the country. They don't even want to come back. They don't, in fact, it's that bad. So it is, Nigeria is at a level that we can't even imagine. And I always ask myself a question: is this the country we want to hand over to our children? This is the reason why I will employ every Nigerian that cares for their children to rise up and be part of this protest. Growing up, most of us inherited a functional nation handed over to us by our parents. What can we be proud that we are going to hand over to our children today? Absolutely nothing. So this is the reason why I'm going to call everybody, irrespective of where your status, your position, wherever you are. Those people that led the protest in 2012, this is the time for them to rewrite their wrong. Because at that point, we didn't need to protest. The country was far better than what we are now. This is the time those set of people should come out and lead this protest and be part of this protest, so that we can have a better Nigeria and have a country that we can bequeath to our children. Thank you so much for allowing me to intervene.
Thank you for giving us your time this evening.
Final words. I want to bring to your attention that the popular singer and activist that we know, Charles Oputa, you know, popularly known as Charlie Boy, who has urged Nigerian youth not to back down on the planned nationwide protest against the bad governance. Charlie Boy said those in power should embrace scrutiny and protest, not suppress it if they are confident in their integrity. He did that in his X handle today, while dismissing a report asking Lagos residents to ignore the protest, as the governor of Babajide Sanwo-Olu's government is already doing enough. I don't know what is enough that the government of Lagos State is doing to tell them not to engage. But Charlie Boy, what are your thoughts on Charlie Boy very quickly telling Nigeria not to back down but to do the needful? Especially, let me quote him, he said, in a true democracy, governments must be transparent and answerable to the people. They should welcome criticism and engage in open dialogue, even when it is uncomfortable. By doing so, they can earn trust and demonstrate their commitment to serving the public interest. But when they try to hide behind secrecy and intimidation, it is a clear sign of guilt and a betrayal of the people's trust. That is what Charlie Boy said. He said Nigerian youths don't ever back down. If they no fear us, they can never respect us. So that is Charlie Boy urging. And I also want you to touch the issue of 5 billion that His Excellency Peter Obi is suing Bayo Nanogo for. That is defamatory comments all over the news.
Thank you very much for this. My very good friend, Mr. Charlie Boy, is somebody I've always respected, even from my youth, even from when I was a child. He's somebody that I have known to be a fair and straightforward human being. These are people that understand exactly what the citizens are feeling. This is somebody that actually knows how his next door neighbor is fending, how the area is fending. He knows the kind of philanthropic activities he does to his area and how he's helping them. So that is why he's coming out now to tell them that whatever they're saying now is all voicemail. Whatever they're doing now is just to bluff you guys. And he's encouraging them to stand up for their rights. Stand up, go out there and let them know you are angry, you are hungry, you are not being cared for. Let them know about it. How can you be in a country, for a whole year, not one significant change has come apart from regression, apart from retrogression, Everything has gone worse. And then you're telling people to hold on, hold on, hold on. How long do you want them to hold on for? Is this the government you came to snatch, grab and run away with? Is this what you plan to do? So, gentlemen and ladies, go out there and make your feelings known. And to Bayo Nanuga, well, I think his cup is full now and has run over, because enough is enough of the nonsense he keeps vomiting all the time. Enough is enough. And I really praise our very own Excellency Peter Obi for taking that bold step right now. Because they said, once you have enough evidence, you have equity, there's nothing that can stand in your way. He has gathered enough evidence. He has had enough from this man. Because he's the attack dog for this government. I was watching him this afternoon. I just played that video again to listen to the rubbish he was saying. And I just shook my head. I said, well, good for you. Well, 5 billion naira. I think that's cheap. Peter Obi should have gone for at least 50 billion. 50 billion. Because when you want to eat, you eat. Or I think they say if you want to eat a frog, eat the one that has got the egg and everything. So before they will go through litigation and all nonsense they go through, well, we know it's going through a Nigerian court. Maybe the 5 billion he has sued for, it will end up maybe 1 billion. But if he had gone for about 50, it would have been ending up with about 30. So thank you, Peter Obi, for at least taking this step to teach them a lesson. By the time you finish with this one, every other one amongst them, they will all keep quiet. They will all keep quiet and let you live in peace. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Lord K. Thank you. And
all our viewers, wherever you are, please like, share, and subscribe. Do not go away without liking or sharing Obidient Family TV, so that other well-meaning Nigerians will know that we are in support of a peaceful protest, so that they will also know what is going on, that even the IGP or police has said clearly that it is the right of citizens for a free and fair protest, that they will be professional. I want to quote him. We will be professional in handling any protest in Nigeria. The right to protest is right to peaceful protest. That is IGP Igbetegun. That is what he said. So the police are not saying they are coming out or that you should not go out for protest. No, they are saying it is your right for a peaceful protest. So wherever you are, we encourage you for a peaceful protest wherever you are. Let your grievances known to the government. It does not matter where you are. The world will feel you, and every Nigerian will feel you. Thank you very much for being here with us today. And of course, let's have your final words in the studio.
It's very important that we come out to protest, but we must emphasize on how peaceful it should be. Peaceful election, peaceful
We keep
protest.
talking about this every day, and we keep encouraging people for a peaceful protest, so that at the end of the day, that very talk, whether Chief Bola Tinubu wants to engage the youths in dialogue or wants to address the nation on this eminent nationwide protest, we'll hear from him. And if we did not hear from him, of course, we're still going ahead. So everybody still be very, very much. And what are your final words?
My people, water don't really pass Gary, because bag of water na 500 and cup of Gary na 300. So for that reason, we go protest, but make sure say na peaceful protest. Bye for now.
The right to a protest is the right for a peaceful protest. Until tomorrow when we come your way again. Bye for now.